Hey everybody, this is Retro Games, and I'm the Sea Hobo.
Moose Knuckle. Chief Moose Knuckle.
Are you sure it's not Butter Knuckle?
I'm pretty sure it's Chief. I had land, but it was taken
Is it
from
Chief
me.
like Chieftain or Chief like Master Chief? Okay, once again, the Sea Hobo here, and this is Retro Games. Gosh, there's just so many moments where I just wish the mic was on when it wasn't on. You guys actually missed all the good stuff, so you should probably just tune out.
But then for every moment you wish the microphone was on, there's probably like 5 moments you're really happy it wasn't.
Yeah. And then it makes me really butthurt because it's like, fuck, dude, we peaked. There's no denying it. We peaked.
We did. We peaked. We peaked like Everest, man.
But how about that beginning? Eh? Need some work, but
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, not a bad.
Like, we gotta get rid of the Nintendo.
Yeah, there's people living in houses full of poo. So, literally poo walls, poo ceilings, made of poo. It's just a poo house, and I'm not talking about like Tigger and all them. I'm talking about poo.
Human excrement.
Yeah.
It smells.
Yeah, and we got a Triforce. And I
bet the whole house smells like the bathroom on the boat.
Let's not go there, man. I already got PTSD from that room. PPSD.
Post poop traumatic poop.
Oh, you had something there though.
No, PPSD.
Oh fuck, man, that place is awful.
Pooping post traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah,
it's got everything. It just doesn't have a toilet.
And it's got to be like a hot day, and like the waves and the wind are going, and like you just got to be like trapped in there by yourself, and then and it's always got to be at the worst moment, like after you've eaten something where you're just like, oh god, you're like George Costanza-ing it towards the door, pushing women and children out of the way.
The worst one is for me. Is when you go in there and you take a poo, but it's one of those poos when you're not quite done and you gotta go back like 5 minutes later. And then you're just like, oh no.
But you could predict it. There's some foreshadowing going there. You're like, oh, this is not over.
But I just gotta get out of this room.
Yeah. And then you look and there's no TP and you gotta duck walk over to the cabin and get a paper towel.
Oh, and then you forget to close the lid when you pump the thing and I forgot to close the lid.
It was just really funny because when we went on brocation, Bailey, she walked in on a few things, man, like floating things. Yeah. All I can say is that you could make a house out of it.
I don't remember what day it was or when it happened, but I remember Johnny walking up from the boat laughing, and he was trying to be mad at you because Bailey would upset Bailey, but he couldn't even deny how funny it was.
Nah, man, there's nothing funnier than that. I think like turds and farts, like everybody at some point has fallen to their knees, unable to carry their own weight because they heard somebody's butt let out some air. Like, it's just a fact of nature. It's undeniable. I feel like that's where humanity's going as fart jokes. Like, that's intellectualism.
Yeah, Ass the movie,
man. Scratches his butt a few times, lets out a few farts. We cry for him, and if we're lucky, he might even meet another ass.
There was a time where we knew whose ass it was and why it was farting.
Yeah. Ass starring Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So like this is pretty new. So like I don't know what other types of stuff you want to add to this intro here, but I was thinking maybe like a few more flashy like coming in and out retro games pop-ups. Those seem to be popular.
Yes.
Yeah, and more Triforces. We're gonna need more Triforces, more copyright infringements. For sure, more copyright infringements. Possibly. I don't know, man. I'm out. I'm tapped. This is genius. This is like.
Yeah, I think we got all the good conversation out of the way when all this shit wasn't set up.
Yeah, man. You know, I feel like I do every time. Derp. Sassafras. Sassafras. Sure.
He was all like, I have this acid, but I can't do it.
Oh, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Oh, so then I was on my bench grinder. Oh man, yeah. You know what? It's not like easy keeping up a pace sometimes. It seems like it was easier last time. It's probably because we were baked out of our trees.
I'm pretty baked. I'm not gonna lie.
Super baked. Well, man,
I was baked when I showed up too.
like roll that baseball bat of a doobie, and then you expect me to like come up with some conversation.
I don't want to be known as the weed DJ, but I'll like dab while I'm on stage.
Yeah. That was pretty funny actually, because he not only dabbed on stage, he took shots, and it's like how do you even like take credit for being a talented DJ when you have the time to take shots and dabs and them. You know, I'm pretty sure he texted somebody at some point.
He is a talented DJ because that's what DJs do.
Well, he's really good at pressing play.
DJs take other people's music and mix it with other people's music, and
he's a professional playlist maker, essentially.
He's really good at mixing shit together. But make no mistake about it, if I don't know. If he wants to refer to himself as a musician, it's a bit of a stretch. Well,
he started making music, and that's real. Making music is real. It doesn't matter what instrument you use. I hate people that say the computer's not an instrument. That's stupid. Anything that you can use to make music is an instrument. You can bang two pots and pans together, and it's an instrument. You can bang sticks on things, and it's percussion. You can, you know. I mean, you can.
The music, no, the computer is not technically an instrument because it's not. It's a recording of a sound that's already been made.
Yeah, I know, I agree, but
when you pluck that guitar, you're making that.
Yeah, but at the same time, that sound is pre-recorded, so it's predictable. But at the same time, when you string a guitar, it's also predictable. So, really, what can...
No, not even that it's just predictable. It's that the computer's not creating that sound. It just recorded the creating of that sound.
Okay, so then the guitarist is more athletic because they actually have to move.
Not quite what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just sassing you because
I just tra la 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 la.
Yeah. Well, I just don't agree with that. I think that the computer, it doesn't matter where you get the sound from, you're still putting things that aren't something together to make something, and you can be original. You can be unique. You can do things that other people. You can do things that other people just have never done before, and you can break ground. I mean, even if you look into hip hop and stuff, a lot of that's definitely music. They're using their voice as.
Well, of course it's music. Of course, the noises the computer is giving off is music, but it didn't. It's not the creation of that music. It's just a recording of it.
I know, and I'm trying in one way or another to just say all that differentiation that you're trying to make almost has nothing to do with the creative process. It's like a technicality. It's like you didn't you didn't actually hit a drum. You just tapped a button. So like, you know those guys that like they tap buttons and they make beats on the spot? Like, dude, that looks complicated as
I'm not saying it's
frick.
not, and I'm not knocking the creative process. I'm just saying it's not technically a musical instrument.
That's where I disagree.
Is there any really difference between, let's say you have all those different keys or strings recorded on a computer, and you just go through each one, pick on the ones you like, put them in order as if you were sitting there playing the guitar? No, there is no difference. There's no difference creatively whatsoever.
There may be a little bit of a difference in the fact that if you have to perform live on a guitar, you don't have hours and hours and hours to put together. So there's that. Like in terms of performance, I'm gonna have to side with you on the instruments, because you can't perform the same way with computers unless you're doing something that, like, you're taking the digital and making it more like those pads. Those pads, they look pretty hard to do. So, but that in no way, shape, or form is the same as the guy that presses shuffle on his iPad and then just like hits the volume up and down every once in a while,
and then jumps up and down, fist pumping for an hour.
Yeah, and takes a dab, and then takes a shot, and checks his phone.
I'm gonna be the weak guy.
Like, holy cow, man, I'm so talented.
Music is life, except for rock music.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the room if you play that kind of music. I thought you said music was life, though.
There's an uncomfortable situation. I remove myself from the situation.
But music, though, it's life, so, like, does that mean you're gonna take your life? Like, should I be watching out for you, buds? It doesn't make sense. He's contradictory to himself in some ways, hypocrite. But aren't we all, man? I am a super hypocrite.
Yeah, but he's the worst.
Yeah, no, that's true. He is the worst. Yeah, but I'll straight up, like, I'll get mad at somebody at, like, say I'm at work, and I'll get mad at someone because they didn't do, like, proper lift procedure, and I've never done it, never. Just love being a hypocrite. And I'm actually starting to, like, get, like, really pissed off, like, when they talk on the radio about, like, the weather. They're like, oh man, it's only 25 degrees. It would be really nice if it could be like 35 degrees because I love the sun. The sun's so good. And it's like a day that's like 15. It's like, oh, well, it could be better. Like Stephen Quinn. I don't know if you ever listen to the CBC, but Stephen Quinn, man, that guy in particular. He's like, oh, I had to put a sweater on today because it's 21. And he loves the sun and he hates the rain and the dark days. And I love the rain and the dark days because they're not hot. And I work in the trades, and he sits in like an air-conditioned office. Just like, man.
Ooh, the sun and the heat is so nice when I get to sit inside and not have to be involved in it.
Can it just go to 40 today? Well, what temperature is it where you're sitting right now? Yeah. Do you actually, ever go outside? Oh, man, I get sunburn. The sun rays aren't good for you.
You go out and do physical labor in the heat all day while wearing a bunch of fucking protective gear, which just makes shit hotter. You go do that and tell me how much you like your 40-degree weather.
And I know he goes outside because he says he's a biker. He says he bikes to work and stuff. And he's like, oh, what about those hills? And they like crack their joke. Oh yeah, what is it with those hills? It's like, well, they're
hills. They go up and then they go down.
There's a bit of a slope.
How about that fucking fire?
Which fire?
The Burns Bog fire.
Dude, have you
now.
Driven by it a couple times?
No, because that stretch of road is closed.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, like, anywhere near it. Like, I came back from the cabin, and it was so thick you could barely see. Like, I was right down on Marine Drive, and I had no idea what it was because it's up at the cabin. I don't have any internet. So I'm coming back, and I hit this, like, smoke, and I can tell it's smoke. I thought, like, a bar burned down or something. It stank, man. But sure enough, it was Burns Bog, and they're saying that it could actually be lit and stay lit for several months. They're saying the peat, they're going to have to keep going and digging it up and checking to see, because they can slow burn.
Yeah, the moss or whatever.
Yeah, like it can slow burn off like an incense, like just like a little coal that just goes for miles, but like, and then it can start up another fire, which is pretty crazy. But they're 60% contained right now. This morning they were 10, and I guess we have the rain to partially thank for that. Someone bring the rains down in Burnsburg. Yeah, man. Is it just me, or does the just putting this dirty old sock on the end of this just make it work so much better?
Well, no, it kind of makes me afraid to get close to the microphone.
Oh man, it's only stained that color because a certain amount of dirts have touched it. Okay, whatever. It's soiled.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't stink.
Yeah, that's really easy to do when that's your sock.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. There's a psychological factor. Like when I go to the cabin and sit on that toilet, and I don't know how many other people have been booing in there, and the
You
walls.
walk in and just look at your toilet like, you whore.
Oh, it bubbles back up, man. It
You
bubbles back up, and it's just like, yeah, you need to learn some standards.
Yeah. So I've been reading, I bought those Game of Thrones books a while ago. Like, after I watched the first season, I immediately went out and bought all the books that were available at the time, so it was like 4.
Isn't the seasons farther than
Yeah, they're farther than the actual books. I think there's 5 books, and they just finished season 6.
Oh yeah.
And that book is supposed to be coming out soon. But that guy, the author's, like, not well. Like, he could die. Quickly. He could die, I don't know, tomorrow. Like, he's not in good health. Anyway, so I've been reading the books, and there's like shit that happens in the books that's hilarious that doesn't happen in the show. That, like, why don't they put this on the show? It's HBO. They don't give a fuck.
Could you give me one example?
Like, okay, well, this happened in the show, but like, no, they toned it down a bit. Remember in the first season when Ned Stark is like laid up in the bed with his legs all fucked up, and he's talking with the king and the queen. Because he just got in a fight with the Kingslayer, and his wife took the imp hostage. So the king and the queen are all in the room with Ned Stark, and they're all arguing. And in the show, the king, like, backhands the queen. Like, knocks her down. The queen gets up and, like...
That happens in the show.
Yeah, no, that happens in the show. Okay, here's what happens in the book. He doesn't just, like, backslap her. Like, he full on... Like the vivid detail about how he grabs her, like, quenches his mighty fist, and, like, wraps it around the side of her head, like, fucking knocks her. And so, but then they say, like, they talk about the bruise forming around her eye, and she looks up at the king and goes, "I'll wear this as a badge of honor."
She says that in the show though.
She does? What does the king say back to her?
I don't remember.
In the book, because I just started laughing. He's like, "I'll wear this as a badge of honor." And the king says, "I'd wear it in silence or else I'll honor you again."
Oh. I think he says that. I
I don't remember that happening in the show.
I own that season, so we could watch it, but yeah.
And
if I have to see any more Starks die, man, I'm just...
You know the vision of the newest season when Bran's watching the young version of his father, we find out where Jon Snow came from.
Okay, top 3. Who are you rooting for, though? Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, the Dragon Lady.
She didn't make my list. You know who made my list is the dwarf. Well, she's already left once, and he's taken over for a bit. It wasn't as good. She's a way better ruler. She's fucking talented, man. She just got this.
Well, she's young, white, hot.
Yeah.
A couple dragons.
Yep, true that. She's very hot. She can literally stand on fire. And she is white, but like in like a weird, like your hair is like almost silver kind of way. But naked, hot, in different ways.
Nice boobs,
nice boobs. She did lay all those out for us to see, so I can be thankful for that. So Thanksgiving, I'm gonna keep that one just right here, and I'll just come out with it. Be like, thank you, Mrs. Targaryen. You know.
Boobs.
Yeah, golf clap. But No, the dwarf. I want. He can't die, man. There's no way. He's just.
Oh, is that what you're asking? Who
I
do you want to live in the end?
well, like
I thought you were asking who do I want to like, because they're all battling for.
nobody's gonna win. The fucking the whole kingdom is gonna have to get together and fight these White Walkers or some
Yeah,
shit.
well, that's what it's all.
Shit's about to hit the fan. So like, I'm not thinking of it in like who gets the Iron Throne. I don't give a fuck. Cersei's on the Iron Throne for fuck's sake, and that was badass how she got there.
Yeah.
She's badass. I hate her, like, because I'm supposed to hate her. That's how they write the show. She's kind of evil, you know. And you fucked your brother.
It's the same thing with what's his name, Ramsay.
You actually had kids with your brother.
Ramsay's disgusting and you hate him, but you love how much you hate him because he's such a good character. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's weird. Like, things happen out of order in the TV show because it would just give it away. In the first book, the first fucking book in the series, that vision Bran has in season 6 where he's watching the young version of his father rescue his sister, where you find out Jon Snow wasn't Ned Stark's bastard. He's actually his nephew, born from fucking his sister.
You get to know that, or that
you
vision
don't get
just
to
happens?
know
the
that,
first
but
vision,
the
right?
vision, like it's Ned Stark reminiscing about it. Keep talking about like every time he hears his sister's name, he's reminded of saying goodbye to her in a bed filled with blood and the promise that he made to her. And they keep going back to a promise that he made to her in a bed filled with blood and the bastard son that he brought home.
Well, man, that shit kind of blew my mind. In fact, when I watched it with you, I think. So then you were like telling me what just happened, what I just saw happen, and I was like, no, what? Well, like I didn't even know what to think. That part kind of messed with me because that's the thing that's always been like one of the most appealing things about Jon Snow is that he has always been this character that has never had any place to belong. He's had no birthright. He's his own man. He has no family, no house. And then all of a sudden now he's like actually a legitimate heir to the throne. After that little faggot jumped out the window. Yeah.
Superhero landing. Superhero landing.
Yeah.
Splat.
Oh, missed opportunity.
And that story's not over because we all just assume that what's her name, Ned Stark's sister, was raped by a Targaryen. But no. Because that would still make Jon Snow a bastard with no claim to the throne. What the twist is going to be, because they tease this in the books as well, is that, Daenerys, her older brother, Rhaegar Targaryen.
Why would he not have a right to the throne? Those are both royal families.
Yeah, but he wasn't born of marriage.
Okay, I see bastard. Okay,
bastard, right? It's the same reason why they couldn't make Ramsay the Lord of Winterfell till they took away the name Snow and gave him the name Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
Bastards can't claim anything. They have no right of birth.
And apparently women that marry out of a family are no longer part of that family because they were actually...
Yeah, because they've married Sansa Stark like 3 times.
Yeah, and Sansa, they're like, you're not a Stark anymore. It's like, no, she's still a Stark. She's like the Phoenix, man. She's got like crazy psychic powers. Like,
have you seen that shit she can do?
Okay, I'm crossing movies now. No, but she was really great in X-Men. Like, that was a really good Jean Grey. Like, honestly, out of all the characters, she's like a really good looking girl. So like, I was happy that she was in it because I was like, cool. We're gonna get to see her like not wearing, like 50 pounds of clothing, which are not...
Except she was wearing, like, big, baggy clothing throughout, like, the whole movie until the very end when she got, like, the tight...
Yeah. She definitely looked like she was spending some time up in the cold Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
But she had that big sweater on. But that's just because it looks so good with her red hair. Yeah. She got nice red hair. But, she was good in that, and she's actually ending up to be pretty strong in this, too. So it looks like maybe she will be the Stark, and maybe who knows what's gonna go on with him, man.
Well, wouldn't what's his name be the Stark? The one
Bran,
Stark boy that's still alive?
Bran,
Yeah.
yeah. And dude, honestly, okay, the people I'm rooting for is Arya, the imp, and always Jon Snow. Always Jon Snow, because Jon Snow is like that one guy that means to do well and then does the exact opposite because Wildling Girl.
Yeah. You
Or
know nothing,
yeah,
Jon Snow.
you know nothing, Jon Snow. Or
Anyway, the theory with Jon Snow is that because you know how Ned Stark's sister was supposed to marry Robert Baratheon, and they keep talking about that, but then she was kidnapped by the Targaryens and died in childbirth.
Mhm.
What the rumor is that she wasn't kidnapped by the Targaryens; she was secretly in love with Rhaegar Targaryen, and they ran away together and got married. And that's what she was whispering into Ned Stark's ear that we didn't hear.
I wonder if there's something like
Because then that would make Jon Snow Jon Targaryen, and he could actually claim the Iron Throne.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things going on with Jon Snow right now, which are extremely fascinating. One of them is
Back from the dead.
it's like everyone's forgotten that. And it's sort of like everybody has just kind of been like, oh, okay, well, you know, it was kind of cool at first, but like, you know, whatever. But it's like, dude, you came back from the dead. Are you a zombie? Why are you here? Who saved you? What's going
Is the
on?
Lord of Light real?
Loud noises. Like, how come this bitch keeps looking at the fire?
What happens if I take this necklace off of her? Oh God, put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
But
Right now.
it's weird because like she's like falling into a depression now.
We banished her.
Yep, they did. But at the same time, she's still with them. Still fucking up to her old tricks.
No, she'll probably try and cozy up to Daenerys,
Oh, really?
Lord of Light, Fire. She has dragons.
Yeah, maybe. But why'd she save Jon Snow? Why would the Lord of Light save Jon Snow? Like, I don't get any of that. And this writer in particular is great for planting seeds and then just throwing them away. And then like he throws seeds into the deep and he comes back for them for full harvest. He doesn't even look at that plant until it's ready to put its banana in his mouth. So he'll sit there and
Look at this banana right here.
hey man, that's my banana. I got 6 kids, man. I gotta save this banana. No, but like Jon Snow, man, he's just like he's had some seeds planted around him. He's had a couple seeds planted around him, and we've seen these seeds put down before, like these little tidbits that don't make any sense, and then it comes back later, and you realize, like, because like my dad once said that the greatest scripts use absolutely every single word in the script, every single piece of dialogue, description, and everything to either be a piece of symbolism or foreshadow or like a part of the story in some way. Like no unused garbage words, which is something I disagree with completely. I think that there are times where I just want to see fucking, like, you know, remember that like Dumb and Dumber movie that came out, like where they're kids and they're on the short bus. It was terrible, but the one part of that movie that just made so much sense was when they like shit everywhere, and he's like, "There's shit on the walls. It's how did they get shit on the ceiling?" And it's like 15 minutes of that.
So much shit.
Yeah, there's like 15 minutes of that guy in there, and
Lloyd writes his dad a message in ketchup on the gym floor, and then in mustard writes "P.S. You're out of ketchup."
yeah, man, like the stuff that doesn't make sense sometimes actually adds to things, but this writer has found a way to make things happen in the show that either don't necessarily have to make sense, like the Hound. the whole Hound story, like, actually doesn't really deepen the plot in any way. He's just this.
Oh, there's a reason the Hound's still around. I think.
I
I
I,
think the Hound's gonna be the one to kill the Mountain.
I don't think Arya is gonna kill him. I think the Hound is actually making a character change, and that means that he's actually a part of the plot, because for a character to learn a lesson, like to actually physically go through a character change, where like like a life changing, character changing lesson, where now he's good when he was evil, or evil turns good, or good turns evil. Those characters are either, like, villains or heroes. They're supporting characters, but they're not supposed to change. They stay the same. There is uh, there's characters that don't move the plot forward. There's plenty of shows, but like realistically, you should have most of your characters moving the plot forward. There's those dudes like in Harold and Kumar, like that those guys that just show up randomly and they don't like bring anything special or anything. They just smoke a little weed and like hang out, like the Jewish guy.
It's like Jay and Silent Bob and Kevin Smith earlier in movies. They
Yeah.
don't really do anything. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, they're just kind of there. Oh, well, no, that's not true. Mallrats, they pushed the plot forward. They had all their schemes and stuff. They built the contraptions. They kept the security guard. Like,
Dude, instead of doing a Mallrats sequel, they're gonna do a Mallrats miniseries, like a 10-episode miniseries. I think that'd be pretty cool.
yeah, no.
I think they should go more in the direction of that instead of trying to remake all these movies.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
I like rehashed garbage, though. You know what,
It's still rehashed garbage. It's just you get to enjoy it longer now.
have you seen the things I built for myself? Look at the rehashed garbage that I made that vent out of. What about the rehashed garbage I made my radio out of?
The rehashed garbage we built our podcast studio.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, yeah, buds.
Sucks, but
Represent. Do you want to listen to some of this?
no,
No?
no. It's just we're just talking for the sake of talking, and I'm yawning and running out of things to talk about, so I'm gonna call it.
You're calling it?
It's almost 9 o'clock. I had to be in bed soon.